Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
What's up, everybody? We got Friday Face-Off here today, and I'm here with my co-pilot, Jeffrey J. Lecchio. We're going to take a topic that is somewhat controversial sometimes. We're just going to bat some things around. Maybe it's a debate. Maybe it's not. Maybe we're on the same page. Maybe we aren't. But we're going to pick a topic that usually gets some people to think, usually gets some people to talk. And today what I want to talk about, because we've had a few of these in the NHL playoffs, this is something that has affected Vex. This is something that has affected a lot of other players within the game. And it's headshots. Headshots from hits. Headshots from hits. And so, Vex, you missed a lot of time in your career due to concussions. I think we both know a lot of different people that have missed a lot of time in their career due to concussions and potentially headshots from those. So let's talk about it today. You know, you had a few in the NHL over the past couple weeks in the first round, second round that it gets people going crazy. Some for good reasons, some not so much, but let's talk about some headshots, man. I'll leave it to you here because this is a topic that I know, head trauma, head safety, let's call it, is really important to you. So I'll leave it to you to start it off.
Yeah, I mean, I think there should be pretty much no tolerance with headshots, but it's also really hard because to me, a headshot means someone's targeting the head.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you hit the head. Hockey is the fastest game in the world. It's so quick. And it's very physical. And you got one guy skating 15 to 22 miles an hour, maybe 25. You got another guy skating at the same speed at him, and he makes a quick move. And you see a lot of guys making a quick stick handle, and their body kind of drops down a little bit. Whereas maybe the shoulder would have went shoulder to chest, but because the guy with the puck comes down a little bit, the principal point of contact is the head. But that's not what it was going to be. The player with the puck moved, and the game is so fast. So it's super hard to call. It's really hard for refs. I mean, reffing just in general for hockey guys is so hard. And at the highest levels, it's even freaking harder because everyone is so fast. A targeted headshot for me should be automatically kicked out of the game. Automatic, no doubt about it. Like
at every level, not just
at every level. All levels, 100%, especially even more so at the younger levels, honestly. And then after that, I think there should be like a video review. And again, video review is tough because when you slow it down frame by frame, it's easy to see things that the players who are playing can't see in that speed, that they're going. So I really do think that we need to get all headshots out of the game, but at the same time, like targeted headshots. A player is purposely trying to make the principal point of contact shoulder with the head or hands with the head. That should be an immediate, kicked out of the game. But the accident ones, those are tough. I've hit guys that, bent down at the last second, and I've been a guy who's, moved and took one in the dome, and I don't blame that guy. I would have hit it too. So I don't know, man. It's a really hard thing to. The
hardest part about it is really trying to determine if there was intention or not.
Right.
That's where, I think the people in the Department of Player Safety at the NHL have a really, really hard job because you can't get in the mind of that person.
Right.
And again, there's a difference between like intention, playing reckless, and then it being an accident.
Right.
It's kind of like you go up with the severity to each one of those from accident to
reckless,
playing recklessly, which is kind of like the Sam Bennett type stuff, what you're seeing right now. So
Zach Ronaldo.
I'm meant to elbow you in the chops.
Right. They're different.
And I would argue that like most of the headshots are from recklessness. I don't think like players actually want to hit other players in the head.
Right.
I think players want to inflict pain with hitting, particularly in the playoffs. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just I'm trying to wear you down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to physically, wear you down. So we're going to have a better advantage throughout the series. It's going to be hard to play against. And so, yeah, like it's really, really difficult. But I think the reckless, same thing, like the reckless plays, those got to be like kicked out of the game too. Those got to be kicked out of the game too. You got to get headshots out of the game.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I will say. I think anytime you want to judge a headshot or a potentially malicious hit, you have to look at the player taking the hit as well and what kind of position they're putting themselves in during that hit. Because if you're going through the middle, and you make a move and then you put your head down and then that person's elbow maybe doesn't even like go up with the chicken wing, but it stays down, but the head's still the principal point of contact. Whose fault is that? That's not the guy who's hitting it fault. That's the player with the puck's fault.
That's a great point. It's a great point that a lot of people don't talk about.
You have to look at the player with the puck and what they're doing. What kind of situation are they putting themselves in? So there's plenty of them where you hear, especially on the cesspool of Twitter, like people who maybe don't understand the game as much, and they're out with pitchforks for some of these hits that are principal head contact. Well, it's like, well, yeah, but if like the player didn't lunge in this way at the last second, or the player along the wall didn't like turn their back at the last second and they get buried from behind, what do you like? Hockey is a fast game. It's a really, really fast game. And like, there are times where it is 100% the player with the puck's fault of why they get hurt.
Right.
And so like, as people are getting their pitchforks out or judging what's going on, like make sure you take into account what the player with the puck is doing. It's a really, really fast game. And again, it can go from accident to like up based on what that person with the puck did.
I totally agree. And that's something you do not hear a lot about, except from people who played the game and get it. Like the normal, casual fan or guy who didn't play hockey, you don't really see that. But what Toph just said is so true. Like there are a lot of times where the guy with the puck or the guy getting hit put himself in that position. And if somebody's coming to hit you and they chicken wing their arm up to get you in the back of the head or the head anywhere, that is it could be reckless. It could be on purpose. It's not an accident. But a player who makes a stick handling move or tries to juke at the last second, they drop their body positioning down and the guy's shoulder would have hit him in the chest or the shoulder and it hits him in the face. That's the player with the puck's fault. He shouldn't have done that. I don't think that should even be a penalty. But it's really, again, really, really hard to teach how to ref that, how to see that, how to know the difference. So then we're like, okay, so if we know those things,
I think what people are trying to educate on in that right now is, are you making a play for the puck first? Yeah. So like, are you making a play to create a turnover, like with your stick and your stick pressure first? And it's like stick body right after that. Right. So like if you're going in there and your stick's up high and, you're doing the old kind of like, pitchfork, kind of thing, then, and you hit him with your elbow, like that's reckless or, intentional, one of the two. But if your stick is down, you go stick on puck and then the player kind of lunges and then you end up getting them with your shoulder into the head. Like that's a completely different play than the one that I just mentioned before. Agreed. And so that's where like, make a play with the stick first, stick on puck and then follow through and with the body. Right. I think that's one of the ways that you can do that.
I agree. I don't have any problem with guys running guys. It's part of the game. But you can't, if you're out there to run somebody and not make the play on the puck, which you're supposed to always make it look like you're making a play on the puck. But what I'm talking about is guys who are really, Scott Stevens, really good at timing their hits. He was never making a play on the puck, but his hits, most of them, there were some that weren't, Korea, most of them were legal, and he wasn't going stick on puck. I still like those hits, but if that's what you're doing is like you're only trying to run somebody and you accidentally hit him in the head, that's a reckless play. That should be suspended also. So if you're going to do that, it's like you got to control your body. You have to,
Yeah, and for me, like, again, as a very small player, it was really funny because I would draw a lot of penalties for like head contact, but it was only because like my head was at their shoulder, it wasn't like
shoulder,
so elbow.
Or wrist
for the big ones. So, yeah, I was at their knees. So like it was always interesting because I would draw these penalties and like the player would be like, "What the hell, man?" And I'd be like, "I actually didn't think it was a penalty, but you did hit me in the head." So,
but I'll take the puck on the half wall and the peeps. Thanks. What's up?
yeah, not on the half wall. I wasn't a half
you were
wall
down
guy.
low. You were down.
Yeah,
low.
I was down low. But yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully, we've given you some perspective on this stuff. I know a lot of people are going nuts about headshots right now, so just giving different perspectives on it. At the end of the day, we don't want to see any headshots in the game. Nobody wants to see any headshots in the game, but we also don't want to see the physicality leave the game either. And there's a way to do it the right way, and hopefully, we've given you some things. But the other thing is like the player with the puck. Hey, this is on you too. This is on you too. 100%.
And guys, I'll leave you with this too. Make sure you're doing things to train understanding spatial awareness and stuff for your eyes.
Yeah.
Like I cannot understate this enough. It will help you on the ice by always training with your eyes up, always scanning the room, always, looking back behind you as you're sprinting, looking around. It will be tough, but that stuff will become a habit and it will translate to the ice, and you will put yourself in poor positions less often. Spatial awareness is the same thing. When you start to learn how much time there is between me and an object when I'm going this fast, or I'm spinning, or I'm moving, and I'm this close to the wall, you can work on all those things off the ice, and they will help you massively on the ice. Don't just lift, run, sprint, jump, throw off the ice. Do things like that. If you don't know how to do them, sign up for my online training, training.gmbm.com. Share the show.
See you, Bo.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.